Welcome, my friends, lovely ladies and fine gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today here at Greenwood, my favorite place on the face of God's good earth. You must be a bit dusty and fatigued after your long carriage rides and that ferry trip to the Hamilton Avenue dock. Fresh air, tranquil surroundings will soon revive your spirits. I do appreciate so much your joining me to celebrate this most auspicious occasion. I must apologize for my somewhat bedraggled appearance today. It will come as no surprise to you, my friends, that I was up almost till dawn last night, along with many of you, and the 12,000 other merry revelers at my magnificent pleasure garden. Since I opened the doors of Niblo's garden on Independence Day, 1828, never has there been a larger or more memorable occasion than that of last night, June 25th, 1860. This morning's papers are full of praise for the Councilman's Ball, held at my establishment to honor the first visit of the Japanese imperial delegation to our fair city. Even the staid and critical Times was unusually generous in its description of our success. As they wrote, the grand festival this morning, which all night long thundered with carriages and lightened with gas lamps. We can all read today of what filled our senses last night. You, sir, in the frock coat, did I not see you in a vigorous schottisch, prancing around the polished floor of my flower-festooned supper room? And you, madam, clad in the elegant black bombazine, were you not acquainted with my dear wife? Rest her soul. Yes, you and your husband are members of Calvary Church. I know your husband well from vestry meetings. A charitable and Christian soul he is. We met in the parish house on Gramercy Park. Reverend Hawkes has spoken so highly of your bonds with one another. You both must come and sit with me on Sunday next. My pew is 113. It's center section front to the right. Oh, and you, sir, in the top hat, your elderly gentleman in the rear. Welcome, my good man. Don't I recognize you from some decades ago? You were a most loyal patron at my bank coffee house on Pine Street downtown. How well I remember the banquet. February 15th, 1823, the grandest ever held in New York. We brought in a whole roasted bear standing erect on a giant platter. And you were first at it, selecting the choicest joint for your discerning palate. The stewed green turtle was most excellent that day, was it not? Ha, ha, ha! Dear friends, Greenwood Cemetery is sacred to me. Here, 6 years ago, in this elegant structure, I laid to permanent rest the remains of my beloved wife, Martha King Niblo, barely 70 of age. She is sadly gone to an early grave, having succumbed to a sudden and violent stomach ailment. My sainted mother Mary is also placed inside, as well as the remains of my father-in-law, Tavern Keep David King, my early employer in New York, and his devoted wife, my mother-in-law Catherine. One day soon I'll take my rest beside these souls so precious to me. Meanwhile, I visit almost every day, passing quiet time with my Martha and communing with our Lord. For 31 wonderful years, Martha was my full and faithful partner in business, sharing the burden of every worldly enterprise and always uplifting our purpose in Christian faith. I am truly blessed. I've had so many successes in business, my coffee houses and hotels, my pleasure gardens, 47 years of trial and fury. Niblo's garden burned to nothing 14 years ago, then rose like a phoenix from the ashes, and today remains the preeminent establishment of New York, a most salubrious destination for those desirous of genteel entertainment and superior refreshment. But I need not prose on to you, for we were all together there last night. Now, dear friends, seeing that we are all assembled, please do me the honor of accompanying me into the mausoleum when I'm ready to lay these flowers at the feet of my dear wife, in solemn memory of her gracious life and in gratitude for the abundance granted me in life. Last night's festivities were truly my greatest success, and I must hasten inside to share my joy with Martha, even as I feel sadness at her not being there with me. I remain faithful to her in death, as I always was in life. There can be no other. God bless us all
William, wait! Please, William, I beg you, wait!
Who goes there? Who interrupts the progress of this memorial procession?
It is me, William. Your wife and partner, the very object of this procession.
Martha? No. Who comes here claiming to be my wife, invoking my beloved's name in jest? Begone!
Look at me, William. Take a measured breath and look. Look with care upon my countenance.
Martha? No, it cannot be, but even yet your voice and your demeanor do remind me of my beloved, and your raiment is as hers. Why, in material and detail, that could be the very dress in which she was laid to rest.
Yes, William, it is me, and I must have your fullest attention, for I have much to say and little time.
How can this be? You've been in this cold grave these 9 years past.
And every day I have been with you, and I have listened as you have shared with me your every thought and passion.
And you, my dearest, even now I share my soul, my every thought with you, as I have always done.
Have you, William? Then tell me now, who is Sarah Hannon?
Sarah Hannon? I do not know this name.
But surely you remember her. She worked for you in my father's coffee house.
Ah, yes, I recall, and a smart lass she was. But how can you recall her name? You were but a child when she left my father's employ.
I was a child, but you were not. Did you have reason to see her again thereafter?
Come to think of it, yes. Well, I believe she fancied herself a young lady of considerable equestrian skills, and later profited quite handsomely therefrom. John Aymer brought her with his troop and performed at my garden, upon occasion.
If that is all you have to say to me upon the topic of Sarah Hannon, then tell me of this cherub. This marble cherub reposes at my feet, but never have you spoken to me of its purpose.
Stop your quizzing, Martha, if that be even who you are. You act more like the devil come to haunt and torture me. No more will I listen. No more.
Sarah Hannon came to see me, William. We were married scarce 3 years when she knocked upon our door.
No, this cannot be.
She came, William. She came to tell me about the child, your son, William Henry. She begged me to take him, to rescue him from the almshouse before he was sent to labor in the white lead fields of Brooklyn.
Stop. I'll hear no more. What good can come of this?
But here you must. I turned her out. I abandoned all Christian charity. I called her a liar, even though I knew within my heart she spoke the truth. I hated her. I hated the child. I hated them both. And for a while, I hated you. She had what I wanted. She had your child.
Martha, please.
I was so angry. How could you betray me with this woman? And I was so afraid that you would shun me for another who could give you a child, but I could not.
Martha, never could I shun you.
But you never told me of this woman, William. Not even in death. Not even whispered to me in the confidence of these marble walls. Why, William, why?
What point is in it? Why give voice to past transgressions that cannot now be mended? You were but a child in your father's house. She was a folly of my youth, and the baby, the product of misplaced passion. She could not keep him, and I had not the position nor the means to provide for the child. So she took him to the almshouse. Noah Jarvis loaned me the money to pay the bastardy fee. I considered it my duty to provide for the boy's survival in some small measure. Then, 3 years later, you and I found a place in each other's hearts, and we married. The anticipation of our lives together was a fresh, wondrous thing. I thought all passed behind me, but I was wrong. She returned. She came to see me at the garden. She asked for money. She wanted William Henry back. I offered up a Christian sum, but she demanded more, much more. And then she threatened to come to see you, my dear Martha. By God, you go too far, I said. Enough is enough. Do as you wish, Sarah Hannon. Carry out your threats. You have not the courage, nor have you the character to place the child or anyone before yourself.
You are wrong, William. She had the courage. She had the character. She came to me.
I did not know this. I thought I bore the burden of these shameful doings all alone. Why have you come back here? Have I not done everything to provide and protect for you in life, and to erect a house of eternal rest for you? Lord knows I've been punished in your loss.
Oh, my dearest husband, I do not question your devotion, but my spirit cannot rest until I know the truth. Is not this marble cherub at my feet placed there by you in memory of your son, William Henry?
Yes, it's true. He died not long after Sarah Hannon's visit. I thought that would be the end of it, but the past came back and continued and haunted me. When I built this eternal house of rest for you, my dear Martha, I could not leave that child outside the door.
Oh, William, we have failed them, Sarah and Henry, and in so doing, we have failed each other. Do not be sad. We have the truth between us, and with it, we can give and receive forgiveness. We are neither alone nor separate. Now my spirit can be at peace. Farewell. Farewell, William. Farewell, forgive me.
Martha! Martha! Forgive me! Farewell!
People exactly. Would they?
Anyone know a good locksmith?
I'll bolt that door for you. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, and if you don't have the flyer and the postcard yet, we have more, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have, and thanks for coming. And of course, please take a look at the mausoleum and the lovely small child marble statue.